As Jim said, I'm an energy engineer. I've got about 30 years experience with project infrastructure upgrades. Uh, about the last 12 years have been focused on only energy projects. I'd like to talk about how do you know when an energy project is the right thing to do. I have a client who's a small public university. They're very focused on energy, and they have two constituencies that they're trying to serve. One is the students. There's a lot of advocates for energy projects among the student population, among the parents of the students. It's heartening to see, but it's a liberal arts college. They run into situations where they've done a number of upgrades to their buildings. They've done lighting projects. They have some solar arrays, but it's never enough. On the other hand, they have a constituency which is the salesmen, people selling them or wanting to sell them cogeneration plants, upgrades to their wastewater treatment plants, solar arrays, wind farms. The people trying to decide these upgrades are often overwhelmed. They know one thing: they don't have enough money. Because to look at these projects and even the budgetary concerns, it's astronomical. They look at the paybacks. Some of the paybacks look pretty good, but I do a lot of my work on the industrial end of things. My normal clients are looking for a 2-year payback. So I'm very critical, and I come into the public world and I bring some of that with me. A couple of examples. They put in at this same university a new student union building. Green design, green building approved, solar panels on the roof. What they found was the actual payback, the actual power generation from the solar cells was not what the manufacturer said they would be. So they'd gotten grants based on certain payback. They'd gone to their trustees based on certain payback, and that's not the actual case today. They're trying to well, actually they do two things, and I chide them about this. One is they ignore it. They try not to measure how much power they're getting from the solar cell and publish that, because someone would do a division analysis and say, wait, this is a 25-year payback, not 10-year payback that you started at the beginning of the project. It reminds me of another client, well, not a client, but a neighbor of mine, a municipality, who installed a new community center, solar panels on the roof, a large windmill out back. Looks beautiful. I mean, it gives that leadership feeling where you know the municipality is the one leading you into the future. But they quickly found out the windmill was more costly to maintain than the power that they got from it, and they shut it down. If anyone wants to buy a used windmill, a couple of kilowatts, I know where there's one available, because it's up for sale right now. So that brings me to my point. It really would be nice to know this stuff up front, and not, the salesmen have new shoes to put on the kids. They need to sell. I think the municipalities need someone who's an advocate for them. Tax dollars are difficult to come by. I'm not saying that energy projects are not good. There's plenty that pay for themselves. But how is it that we determine which ones are going to pay and which ones are going to put us into this situation where we're selling off our windmills? It starts with an energy analysis. I found that a lot of the glamour projects, the solar and the wind, are probably 10th on the list of energy projects that could save the community. So if you're looking at dollars and cents, there's often a lot of projects that are better cost benefit than that. The solar projects, you have to put in geographical context and look at people who have solar panels now in this area. What is the actual power output? Not what is it rated for, not what is it capable of, but what are people getting? There's enough projects to compare to. Then look at that for your own cost budget. It can make a lot of projects make sense or not. So having that long list is what I call it of projects gives you a defensive shield, if you will, the people in the community who might come to you and demand, because demand that you install sustainable energy. Not that sustainable energy is bad, but it needs to be cost effective in the context of a municipal situation. So, having a good analysis of the energy used in the community, having a good analysis of the potential projects, I like to have at least 10 to 15 projects on the board at any given time, most of which you would be able to justify that it's not cost effective or not effective at this time. But it gives you the ability to do something else. You can take the grants, you can take the funding initiatives available, and you can say in advance, when the funding level is at this point, then the project makes sense. And you'll know that years in advance. So I strongly recommend that even if there isn't enough money now, that you plan for the future and be able to show the community that you're proactive and looking at these things, some of which, the ones that are most cost effective will often surprise you. And that's about all I wanted to say.